part 4, 2/23/2014, 09:15 a.m. Left off part 3. We're talking about Christ, and Christ was a liberal, folks. Christ was not a conservative. The conservative movement was the Sanhedrin, was the Pharisees, was Rome. Oppressing women, stoning women. It's like even women at that point were trying to have women's lib. But the religious climate is to oppress them. They're still doing it. This is the absolute slap in the face to Christ to say 2,000 years later, we're still trying to oppress women, man. 2,000 years later, we're still aligning with the church and we're still oppressing the poor. I mean, my gosh, this party's doing that but saying no white Jesus, man. It's treason. It is not consistent with Jesus Christ. It's consistent with religious doctrine to have alpha males dominate, control, and overpower, create a divide, take the middle class out, take the small business out to where you can't have a small business. Because you can't survive, and then there's just poor, those on top, and don't have what's happening in Ukraine, what's happening in Russia, what's happening in Indonesia. Again, I've had too many posts on what happened to the West Papuans by colonialism, and we've not put a stop to that. And the largest gold mine in the world is 75% owned by a mining company out of Republican Arizona. I want to know what candidates are supported by that mine, man, and to allow what's happening to those people. I mean, those people are treated barbaric, man, and it's not on the news. They got some momentum going, and then I'm not seeing a lot of other momentum on that. I will not stop with that. That is one of my crusades. You cannot look and say, wait a minute, the United States hand is in that oppression. What Republican candidates are supported by that gold mine, largest gold mine in the world? I want to know, where does that money go? Remember, follow the money. Remember, the church, the Republicans align with coal and oil, with the communist country, with the fascist country, with the dictatorship. They hold hands, like Bush and that Saudi king. You know how they hold hands? You know, there's always that picture of them holding hands. Yeah, but you're in bed together, dude. You're in business. You talk shit about each other, and then you go on, you hold hands, absolutely, and that is an oppressive to women, and the oil, and we're in line. I mean, these are just examples that are facts. Not one point during his administration did he try to protect women and those human rights abuses where he's making a stand to say this is wrong because it gets in the way of business. See, making that stand gets in the way of business. You can't get oil somewhere else. It's everywhere. There's too many freaking oil rigs. But anyway, again, I've talked about all these things in length, in detail, and very long documentaries. I mean, I try to make just simple points in 5 minutes that are fact, that you can go and reference and say, well, but it's happening now. Or we can just turn on the news right now, Dominic, and I don't need to open up the book anymore. I can just turn on the news. That's all you have to do. And just see, what did Arizona just do? What is going on in the Ukraine? What is going on in Russia? You're going to find yourself, again, I've said this a million times, I cannot say this enough, you're going to find yourself liberal or moderate conservative, where you wake up one day and you don't have the right to protest, and you're not going to be able to assemble. It's going to be like Russia, one person maybe, and that one person will get oppressed like Dominic for saying anything that this is wrong and this is bad. And you just go home and don't come back. We'll force you, like what we did to Dominic, we'll force you on food stamps, and we'll force you on a socialized medical program that will hurt you. Not help you, it will hurt you. And we'll do what we want to you. And we'll just experiment on liberals. Who's going to stop us? You'll have that. You're having it now, folks. I'm an example of this.